Today is Monday, March the 22nd, and I'm sorry that it's coming a little bit late. It's 10:37 at night. This is a particularly nervous time right now. Here's the Mcclellan Oscillator, which we had a good day today, but the Mcclellan Oscillator dropped today. It went from minus 47 to minus 70. So the bears are trying to pull away, but have not been able to. But they've certainly wrestled with the bulls, and they've brought this complex pattern, which we were hoping would do better, down below the neutral line. Now, you can see it's similar to this one right here, back in October of last year. And it pulled below the neutral line and did exactly what's happening now, then popped up and then came back down again. And you can see the big drop that we had in the S&P or the Dow, the NYSE that coincided with that. But here's what's concerning. The Dow was up 100 points. The NASDAQ was up 1.2%. The S&P was up as well. But the decliners led advancers. So we saw the opposite happening that we would have thought, right? Most of the table was green. The financials were red. But we had a tail off towards the end of the day. Right at about 3 p.m., the selling started in all of the markets. And the decliners led advancers on what seemed to be a good day. Now, if you look at the Dow 30 stocks, green everywhere, with the exception of some of the financials and Home Depot. And Home Depot has been doing particularly well. So let's take a look at the charts. Now, it's GM in the comment section who got into Facebook, asked me a question about it on this pullback here, and I didn't answer until this candle had occurred and had broken this rough approximating bull pennant, but it certainly has broken in the bullish direction. And where did it stop? Right at this minor Fibonacci, but nonetheless it's a Fibonacci that's just before an all-time high, and sellers will sit at that. So you could expect possibly a little bit of a pullback tomorrow, but it does look like Facebook is going up to 310. So good call for GM there. Let's take a look at our other stocks and our markets. The Dow, as we said, had an up day, coming back below 127.2. The NASDAQ, which is the market that's doing the worst, now as the Chiku span above the 50, rejection today on the 50 simple moving average. Again, another technical indicator that the technicals are really important in this market and every other market. But we started today, we ended yesterday at the cloud, started today, of course, at the bottom of the cloud, moved up, found the 50, and then pulled back. There's an opportunity again now to take another charge at the 50, and if the market does come down, the Chiku span should be able to hold us right here, which would be where? Exactly 161.8%. So tomorrow, we're going to put this little reminder to ourselves to take a look here, because on the NASDAQ, it's the Chiku span that's telling us what's going on. And tomorrow's support would be on the 161.8, with a possibility of breaking the 50 if it's a good day. Now, the S&P finished up 0.7%, pulled back from its all-time high, but the candles are still acting as support for the Chiku span. So this is all positive. This is all bullish. The volatility index, more importantly, dropped. So there's another indicator that the bulls could be looking to set up tomorrow to make another run and take it higher. ALEC, our little biotech stock, had another big pop today. I don't know if all of the biotechs that moved with it last week moved again today, Friday, on big pop on Friday, now big pop again today. But that's been a great stock. Apple, big move, $3. Chiku span above the cloud resistance, that's good. You would have expected to see resistance at the cloud. It popped up. It popped up. So, I mean, that's bullish. Now the 78.6, it's going to take another run at 78.6, and then it's going to head toward the 50. Apple is a bullish stock. ABBV recovering nicely from that big drop we had last week based on, I think it was an FDA delay on some drug trial application. But look at the Chiku span. Big move today, up above the candles. That's really bullish for ABBV. And the cloud is very thin. I'm calling for ABBV to come back and regain its previous momentum. IBM, another stock that we started to dabble in only because the technicals looked good and because it has a great dividend, over 5%. It's heading to 143. BLDR, sort of given up on this one because it's now really pulling back from where we had set an alert to get back into this stock. So I think it's time now to move away from BLDR and look at some other kind of infrastructure stock. We've got the Chiku span that's coming down, looking for support on the candles. NEO, sort of a nothing day, ended up dropping a little bit. Where did we see? Do we see anything on the Chiku span? Thursday we had support on the cloud. Today, if you look at today's low right here, it was at 61.8% Fibonacci, and the Chiku span actually dipped below the cloud and then finished the day back up inside. So really, not a lot has changed on the NEO. There's no signals there for us. Square up $1.29. Again, the cloud is thin. The Chiku span looks like it's getting support on the 50. At some point today, exactly right there, here was the low of the day. And where is that? Right here, where the Chiku span and the 50, a little bit below, but nonetheless, the Chiku span and the 50 did play today. Top of the cloud also played for the Chiku span. The Chiku span is so important. If you don't understand how it works, I've got a video out there. Ask for a link in it in the comments, or take a look in the playlist that I have of Ichimoku videos. Some of them are getting pretty old, but the Chiku span is a good one, and I wouldn't do anything to change it. AT&T had another good day today. As you would expect, in a market that is uncertain, a high dividend stock is going to do well. We had support on the 200 today. We started on the 200 and moved up into the cloud. There's a lot of resistance here, and the Chiku span finished above the candles and above these 50s. AT&T, if you're accumulating AT&T for the dividend, there's nothing wrong with buying some shares right now. That's all I'm going to say because it's late. I apologize. What are we looking at tomorrow? We said that on the S&P, things were looking good because of the Chiku span. We said on the NASDAQ, things were looking good again on the Chiku span. We're watching for resistance on the 50. If we break that, we're going to the top of the cloud. And the 30 stocks in the Dow Jones that I don't really care much for, 127.2, coming back down to test that, might be going higher. Bottom line really is that we look at the Mcclellan Oscillator, and let's think like this pattern right here. Although we're well overbought and pulled back below, we came back for a bounce, but then we crashed. Let's just keep an eye. We should be looking for a pullback, a move up tomorrow, possibly to the neutral line, unless there's some bad news. Read this article by Tom Mcclellan, warning of a scary feeling in the market dip. I haven't listened to it, but I'm going to first thing in the morning.